Hey there guys, welcome to the Light Space. So today isn't really a scripted video as such, this is more just some thoughts that I had about a couple of books I read recently. The first one was Beyond Fear by Don Miguel Ruiz and the other was Spontaneous Evolution by Dr. Bruce Lipton. These were definitely two of the most interesting books that I read last year. Beyond Fear is a book that's all about mastery. I know a lot of people are familiar with the concept of self-mastery, but this is really talking about like the highest degree of mastery, becoming a real sort of master of the elements and stuff like that. It's all about cleansing yourself of fear by going through a sort of, I don't know what you'd call it, I guess a rebirthing process where you sort of die and you're reborn, you know, like the sort of a phoenix from the ashes, so to speak. But it all comes down to the idea of acknowledging that everything around you is made of love. Everything that exists within the universe is made of love. And the only thing that stops us seeing that is the fear that's within us. So when you cleanse yourself of fear, you basically live in a constant state of unconditional love. Heaven on earth, basically. You become one with God, ultimately, because in the book it refers to God as being sort of unconditional love. And it was just a fascinating thing to read because I'd never really heard of anyone talking about this sort of level of mastery before, about being a real sort of master of, well, life really, and just living in a constant state of heaven on earth. And what was really fascinating about the book is that the author said that once he achieved this level of mastery, he barely thought, he didn't do any thinking, he was just sort of in a constant state of bliss, and he didn't think much at all because he was just completely in touch with his intuition, locked into the present, and basically followed his sort of inner oracle, so to speak, rather than his thoughts, which was really interesting. The other book, Spontaneous Evolution, was fascinating. It basically talks about where we're heading as a society and how we can actually predict what's going to happen in society by observing what goes on in nature, which I thought was really interesting. And so basically, where we are now, we're heading towards this sort of chaotic period. As you can probably tell, a lot of people at the moment are losing faith in the political systems and stuff like that, and we're heading towards this sort of period of chaos where everything's going to sort of break down and then restructure. And it's funny because animals do this. In the animal kingdom, you can observe like the caterpillar breaks down and then restructures and comes out and emerges as a butterfly. And it's the same as like with societies. We go through periods where we break down and then we break through and become something more evolved. And what we're going to break through to is the most interesting part. We currently live under a societal paradigm called scientific materialism, basically meaning if you can see something, if you can detect it with your five senses, it's real, that's science. Anything else, that's just superstition, basically. But now, because of pioneers like Bruce Lipton, who's actually sort of combining science with spirituality and backing up a lot of these spiritual concepts with science, you know, this new paradigm is going to include spirituality, meaning we'll become a much more evolved sort of race of beings. So when we evolve into the new paradigm, we're basically going to be living as a much more spiritual community, because now we're backing up a lot of these spiritual concepts with science, so it can't really be denied anymore. You can't just say, oh, we can't see it, it's not real, because now we're actually proving that stuff like the spirit, for example, is real, that we do actually have this big pocket of consciousness within and around us at all times. And it's fascinating because things are going to change for us very, very soon, and books like this really do show that society in general is quite oblivious to the amazing advancements that are happening all the time. You know, epigenetics, for example, the study of epigenetics has shown us that our perceptions and surroundings actually alter our genes. We're not just victims of our family genes anymore. Hereditary traits are actually fictional. It's actually our perceptions and surroundings that affect our genes. And a lot of people don't even know that. You know, even the doctors will probably say, do you have a history of this and that? You know, not even sort of aware that that's actually a myth that's been debunked now. So I would highly recommend reading books like that because there are amazing advancements happening all the time, and a lot of people don't even know about it, you know, because they're too busy checking the mainstream media, which doesn't feed any sort of interesting news. And also I'd recommend Beyond Fear if you're interested in mastery and sort of, yeah. Well, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.